Hello students. Now we're going to start our third part of our first session, that is in the tribes. Now as we some of the students have said that there is some confusion among the parts and the sessions. So from now on we'll just say that session 1 and the tribes we're going to discuss, right? And this is how we will proceed. Right. So the tribes that we're going to discuss, starting with the Bru or the Riang tribe. Okay. So the Bru tribe, the same tribe is known in the Tripura as the Riang tribe. So Bru tribe is distributed across the states such as Tripura, Assam, Manipur, and Mizoram. Okay. So because that's a nearby state, so tribes are there. But now the issue of the Bru tribe rehabilitation and the repatriation is a important current affair issue for this year. This issue had lingered on for 23 years. We'll discuss about that. And finally in the January 2020, that is why I've included that as well, because as we are discussing the September month current affair, but still I'm discussing the very latest update on this. So the government has finally come up with an agreement with all the stakeholders, and we'll discuss that, right? Okay, so it's a primitive tribal group. It's a second largest tribe in the Tripura after the Tripuri tribe. So within Tripura, it is the second largest community, right? So the Bru tribe belongs to the Mizoram originally. So it is said that who are the India's Bru community that does not want to go back to their home. So what is the story behind that? We'll discuss that. Okay, few of the facts about the tribe, because with respect to tribe you need to know few things. If first of all, in which state it is, secondly why they are in the news. Is a bit important. Why is in the news, right? If it is there, then some of the festival, if any specific festival is there, and that's it. Mostly what is important, you just need to know from which state they belong to, because it is more of a factual nature. If the question of the tribes come, it will be related to the factualness of the factual part of the paper, right? Okay, so they are the Hindus, and this Hojagiri folk dance is basically performed by the Bru tribe, right? So that was, I was discussing that Modi government has managed to strike a 4-party agreement to resolve a 23-year-old crisis. Okay, so now we'll discuss what is the issue basically with the Bru tribe. So the issue starts in 1995, actually starts in 1997. 1995 sets the background of it, that Bru in the Mizoram. So in the Mizoram, the Mizo tribe, one of the organizations, the Mizo tribes, they want to disenfranchise the Brus. Okay, so they say that the Brus cannot be cannot be included in the electoral list and all this. In 1997, the Bru tribe from Mizoram, they shifted to Tripura, or not shifted. In fact, it was said that there was exodus of them because of they call it cleansing, ethnic cleansing by the Mizos of the Bru. So Mizos impacted the Bru tribe for the ethnic cleansing, right? So that means finally the Brus settled in the Tripura. Okay, now from 2000 onwards, the government is trying to make sure that they go back from Tripura to the Mizoram. They want to ensure that they go back from Tripura to Mizoram. The government has tried many times. In fact, it is said the 9th attempt was the last attempt. Government said no, after that we will not try. So they have been trying to make sure that they go from Tripura to Mizoram, but as many of the Brus are settled in the Tripura now, so they believe that they want to stay in Tripura rather than they don't want to go to Mizoram. They don't want to go to their home. Finally, in January 2020, an agreement has been sought between the Tripura government, the representative, you can see here, Bru Riang representative, union government, government of Tripura, and Mizoram government. So 4 stakeholder based the final agreement has been signed, and they have decided that they will be staying in Tripura only. They don't have to go back to the Manipur. Okay, the Tripura chief minister has said, giving some arguments that the queen of the Tripura was Bru and something like that. That's not too much relevant for us. So what is the highlight of the agreement? We just need to understand what are the different highlights. That they have given some assurance to the people of Bru people that when they live in Tripura, they will be giving some package, some money will be there, some fixed deposit money will be given to this family which they can take it out after 2 years. They'll be given some housing facility, residential plots will be given, right? Something will be given for their food security, as well as finally the employment security should be also given. Okay, they'll begin 5,000 cash per month. So with respect to a prelims exam, what important is what is the Bru tribe, what it is called, and like Rihang, and which of the states are there. If they ask you a very easy question, it will be around the in which part of the India and the which state they are concerned. Mizoram, Tripura, Meghalaya, they can confuse you with respect to that. If they ask you a tough question, they can ask you upon the sequence of events. Okay, for example, in August they have they try to come up with the four corner agreement. They, as I told you, government always wanted the Brus to shift from Tripura to the Mizoram. So they come up with an agreement that okay, we are giving you the final offer, please do that. But again, people have not done it, right? And after that, August 19, government had decided okay, then finally we need to reach a settlement, and they have reached a settlement with this particular agreement that we have discussed. This is not this agreement, okay? This is four corner agreement is not relevant in fact now. It was in the current affair, it was supposed to be taught in August, but actually I knew that Bru conflict is simmering, and that is why I wanted to cover it when it finally got the conclusion, at it finally concluded, right? So there are few things you need to remember with respect to the Bru tribe, right? Now, the next tribe we're gonna see is Chenchus. So Chenchus are basically, they live near to the Armabad tiger reserve. We will see that. Okay, so they are in the Nallamala forest. We have to see the location of Nallamala forest as well. They have a typical house. They are the PVTGs. We have discussed that. Primitive tribal groups, right? Particularly, sorry, not primitive, primate was the earlier name. So particularly vulnerable tribal groups, they are spread across Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Karnataka and Odisha. Remember, it is here in this particular tiger reserve they found in the most concentration, but obviously they will be spreading around the nearby areas. Okay, so they speak Chenchu language with the Telugu accent. They were the tribal deities they worship, so we don't have to remember too much that. We just have to remember their location, especially the geographies related to it. So most of them inhabit the Nallamala hill. So Nallamala forest is here. You can see the boundary of Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. Okay, this is Telangana going. You can see it very clearly here. This is Nallamala forest. And if you remember the Tiger Reserve series we have located Nagarjuna Sarisilam and Armabad Tiger Reserve, Amravati Tiger Reserve here only, right? So they celebrate Mahashivratri and something festival, their own festival, and this is near to Nallamala forest. As he was giving to the reference to a Tiger Reserve series, so that is what discussed. That is Amravati. Okay, it is vested. It is in continuous with the Nagarjulam Sarisilam Tiger Reserve, right? It was the biggest tiger reserve of India. So if you have not watched Tiger Reserve series, please do that. It will really help you in your prelims preparation, impetus series, right? Right. Okay. So this is Chenchus tribe. The next tribe we're going to discuss is Lepcha tribe, very famous Lepcha tribe of Sikkim. They are not only related to Sikkim but also in the West Bengal, because again the same logic, right? They are the Sikkim, but West Bengal is the bordering state. Okay, they are fair in their complexion, look fair in their complexion, they are shy in themselves and all this. They call themselves Rong in their own language. Okay, so their Mera festival is Tengonglo Rum Phat. So this is their traditional festival, Lepchas. Sikkimese celebrate Tengonglo Rum Phat festival. So there is a very important tribe of Northeast. Many of the tribes of the Northeast are really important. That is why I'll keep covering the tribes, not every month, but every alternate month. For example, in September, I'm covering tribes. In the next month will be December, October, November, we have already covered. So we'll be covering tribes in the January month. Okay, I'll try to finish all the important tribes for you before the conclusion of this particular current affair series. Okay. Okay, let's move on. Next is Saharia tribe. So Saharia tribe is one of the important tribes which faces a lot of deprivation, what we call it, the problems among the ST population in India, right? And they are the perfect example where a lot of problems are found to them. For example, acute malnutrition, problem of the TB relevance, tuberculosis, a lot of very high incidence of the tuberculosis is there. Okay, so they are found in the Madhya Pradesh district, mainly in the Rajasthan, so MP Rajasthan border they are mainly found on. Okay, Saharia tribe, many of them are also currently also in the bonded labor they found. Okay, so they trace their roots to the days of Ramayana and beyond. They trace their origin from the Shabri of Ramayana. Okay, so there's a very big interesting tale. So it is said that Saharias, the god has given, the Brahma has given the Saharia people the place to sit, that you should sit this at the center of the earth. Okay, so it is said that other people came and shifted Saharia people from this position, and the god was not happy. Okay, so the Saharia, so the Brahma was chided for Saharia's inability to cope with the pressure and decried that they will always, because they're not able to hold on to their position given by the god, they will always be at the like curse them or tell them, okay, you will always live in the forest and out of the way places. Okay, you'll always live in the secluded places because you cannot hold on to the place I've given you, right? And this is the story, how it story goes, that is how they are there, right? And this is what I was discussing, high TB relevance continued to haunt this MP tribe. Okay, again this acute poverty, malnutrition, and these are the problems with the Saharia tribe. So they are, as I discussed, they are the particularly vulnerable tribal groups. For us, among the tribal groups, more important are the particularly vulnerable. We already discussed 75. I've given you the list, long list. I have not discussed obviously all, but we will not discuss all obviously, but we'll try to discuss more important ones and those which are in the news. Okay, and these are really important. So they will share the same characteristics of the PVTGs, like pre-agricultural system of existence, zero or negative economic population growth, extremely low level of literacy as compared to the other tribal population, and all this. Right, so these are the Saharias. Next we discuss Bhil. So Bhils are, you must have heard of it, Bhils. Bhils are in the mainly in MP, along with that in Gujarat, Maharashtra, Rajasthan, and northeastern part of the Tripura, in Tripura as well. Okay, they are popularly known as the main is the central India. They are there. They are the bowmen of the Rajasthan. In fact, they are the largest of the South Asian population. Okay, so Bhils are the largest tribe in the whole South Asia. Recently they were in news because in the MP PCS exam, the state service exam of the Madhya Pradesh, the Bhil tribe has been termed as alcoholic criminal minded. Okay, so it was like that. So it goes to show the stigmatization, like stigma that is attached to the tribe, and overall our attitude of the mainstream people towards the tribe, it goes to show that, right? So a few of the festivals of the Bhil, for example, they celebrate Bhagoria during the Holi and Baneshwar fair during the Shivratri. As I discussed, bowmen of the Rajasthan, right? Okay, so they speak Bhil, which is an Indo-Aryan language, right? Okay, so this was the festival I was talking about, Baneshwar fair, one of the largest fairs organized by the tribals, and this is Bhagoria festival, which is celebrated at the festival of the Holi. Right. Next is the Idu Mishmi tribe. So Idu Mishmi tribe was last year it was in the news because of the because they have protested against declaring the Dampa Dibang, sorry, not Dampa. Dampa is in Mizoram. Dibang Wildlife Sanctuary as the tiger reserve. So the NTCA, that is National Tiger Conservation Authority, wanted to declare Dibang Wildlife Sanctuary as the tiger reserve. But Idu Mishmi tribe said, no, they are our brothers. They means tigers are our brothers. And if you declare them as a tiger reserve, we will be forced out of the place. and if we are forced out of the place, then we will not be able to share, or we will not be able to protect the tigers. So they believe in the cultural model of conservation. Okay, cultural model of conservation, right? So this is important. So they are from Arunachal Pradesh. They are protesting against the declaration of the Dibang Wildlife Sanctuary as the tiger reserve. They traditionally follow animistic and shamanistic faith and believe that the tigers are their elder siblings. Okay, so they give an this called anthropomorphization of the animals, right? So treating animals as the human beings. So tigers are never hunted by them, and if they are killed, then they are buried like a human being, right? Okay, so this is the location of the Dibang Wildlife Sanctuary, and this is where the Idu Mishmi tribe also live. Also remember the Mishmi Hills are there, right? Mishmi Hills. I've discussed this Asiatic golden cat with you. Remember, it was shown in the different colors, 6 colors it was shown. I've discussed that in the environment and ecology. So Idu Mishmi tribe, and that is why it is important for us to discuss Idu Mishmi tribe, right? So we have discussed in all 6 tribes in this particular session, starting from the Bru tribe, right? Then we discussed and we ended with the Idu Mishmi tribe, in which we discussed Bhil tribe. Then we discussed Lepchas, we discussed Chunchans. Okay, so these are the tribes. We'll try to complete the tribes. We'll try to complete majority of the tribes throughout our course. Many of the tribes we have already covered. We have discussed PVTGs in detail, right? And now finally in the January month, I'll cover more tribes, and by the March itself, we'll try to cover almost all the tribes which are relevant for us, right? So this is the end of our first session. In the first session, we have discussed about tribe, and finally we'll move on to the governance part with our session 2. See you in the next class. Thank you, everyone.